it's actually the second day today of the would-be constitutional conference Rethinking Nigeria's Future. These are eminent Nigerians who have come together as a think tank group under the auspice, the Patriots. They're a movement championing the cause for a fresh constitution, a draft constitution away from the current constitution, the 1999 constitution as amended, saying it is obsolete. It no longer captures the yearnings and the aspirations of Nigerians. Hence, continuous amendments to the constitution is only trying to repair the image. There's this saying in public relations: you cannot carve a good image out of a rotten wood. The constitution now, the 1999 constitution now in this situation, is the rotten wood that a good image cannot be carved out. They are saying it is only the drafting of a brand new constitution would Nigeria be able to address a lot of its issues, key among which is reforms across the different sectors of the economy, reforms in the police, reforms in governance, among several other issues that have been raised. Interestingly, this constitutional drafting did not commence today. As a matter of fact, they had first appointed chairmen at the 6 geopolitical zones who had carried out town hall meetings at the zonal level to get a feel of what the people are saying they want to see represented in the constitution. This then transcended into the events that you can now see on your screen, a constitutional conference that comes together to put all of the issues that have been raised by individuals across the different parts of the country into a document that will be gazetted and then presented to the National Assembly and also the executive, in this case, the president of the country. Now, expectation will then be that when they receive these documents, they do the needful with it and ensure true representation of Nigerians by ensuring that this constitution, be drafted and become the ground norm of the country. But then this event was not without its own challenges, because definitely at some point while covering it, we noticed a bit of rancor between some members who made up the exco or the committee, and then others who were members of the public who really were not happy with some of the recommendations and the resolutions that were given. Keys among some of these recommendations, which are the urgent need for a new constitutional order, because the current system, according to the individuals who made up this summit, is too expensive.
Sagir, just to interject quickly and establish some basics. On what legal basis are the conveners convening this conference, and how inclusive? You talked about, zonal level where some, findings and reviews have been made. Who authorized it? And how are they going to bring this to the National Assembly in a way that will convince the National Assembly that is an expression of the Nigerian will?
You see, this is the big question, Felicity, actually, because this group is being convened by eminent Nigerians, some of which you mentioned earlier, who have been in government and out of government for quite a while. It has former Ambassador Emeka Anyaoku, former Ambassador to the Commonwealth, chairing the committee. It has eminent Nigerians such as the former governor of Ogun State and current senator representing Ogun State as its chairman, Benga Daniel as its co-chairman, among other individuals. But the concern really is whether after they've gone through all of this rancorous exercise, they would have any teeth to bite when they present their recommendations to the government, be it the National Assembly or the executive arm of government, and the recommendations are not adopted. These are the concerns, because these questions were asked, of course, during the Confab, and the response that they got is would continue to prevail until Nigeria gets a true representation of its own ground norm or of its own constitution.
Honestly,
so,
Sagir,
the concerns are there.
What are the chances? I mean, it's a 3-day event. This is day 2. From what you've seen, what are the chances that there will be some sort of consensus on a document to be presented tomorrow, or you expect to see an extension?
Well, I really wouldn't say the chances are slim or whether there's a high chance. And the reason is because you cannot rule out the role that advocacy has to play in situations like this. So it is really how well they play the advocacy card that is going to determine whether this is going to see the light of day or whether it's just another talk show.
I guess that's what we'll leave it for now. We'll still speak with you tomorrow, hopefully, and get the latest update. Fingers crossed that they will come up with something. Thank you, Sagir, for the coverage.
Pleasure. Pleasure.
All right, to continue this discussion, I'm joined now by Constitutional Lawyer Eze Onyekpere. Thank you for joining us tonight. I mean, you heard my question to my colleague about on what authority, on what basis are these conveners putting together this conference to come up with an idea for a new constitution for the country. What are your thoughts on that? Eze, I don't think you, I think it's, the system is frozen here. You cannot hear me. We'll try and come back. Okay, Eze, can you hear me? Please acknowledge.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't know if you caught the question I asked
I can hear you.
Okay, I said the question I asked my colleague was about the authority, the legal basis for this conference to validate their submission about a new constitution. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, let me start by saying that there is a legitimate authority in the National Assembly that is supposed to review the Constitution under the 1999 Constitution. But of course, it is their failure and refusal to do their constitutional duty that has led to this scenario where citizens who have a lot of legitimate authority, who have a lot of moral authority, are convening to say, let us review these issues and see what we can get out of it. But even if after their review, they still need the legal authority of the parliament to be able to enact it into law as of today. But my challenge is that the Nigerian challenge problem in terms of constitutionalism is even beyond the document. Beyond the document, we have individuals, people, authorities who simply ignore the document and begin to take other steps and measures that are unconstitutional. For instance, if you look at our constitution very well and look at what is happening in the political space in terms of elections, you will see that the Constitution has authorized the National Assembly to make electoral laws. But each time they make these laws, the powers that be, particularly in the judiciary, turn it upside down. Some years ago, we held a card reader as a game changer. But when it got to the Supreme Court said, no, you guys are wasting your time. It's still the manual document that we need. In 2023, INEC told us it was the IRF that was a game changer. Everybody was singing it like a song. But of course, when he went to the Supreme Court again, they told us we don't know what we are doing and told us something different. So even if you have a constitution, when the judges who are supposed to interpret the law are living with utmost respect in the Stone Age, they are behaving like
is that a fair assessment, Eze? Because I could be wrong.
It is a fair assessment. I'm saying the judiciary is holding Nigeria down. And that each time Nigeria has sought to make progress, we have people who are holding us down. The judges under military dispensation sought to free Nigerians from captivity. The current set of judges are simply, even when our hands are untied, they tie us back and send us back to captivity.
Okay, I misunderstood you there. Eze, where I was going actually, I thought you were referencing the National Assembly, because I know for now they are currently reviewing the 1999 Constitution, the 1999 Constitution for a group of persons. I know that they are currently doing public hearings. Correct me if I'm wrong, but would a group of individuals who have expended energies to go through the process of reviewing the Constitution be receptive?
If you can hear me.
Yes, I can, sir.
What I'm saying in essence is that I've talked about the National Assembly. I've talked about the National Assembly. that once the Constitution gave the power to amend the Constitution and to review it, but that they are so distracted and removed from what the common Nigerians feel on a day-to-day basis.
And that was where I was coming in, sir. This network is really horrendous. That's where I'm coming in. Because I could be wrong, but I believe that the National Assembly is currently reviewing the 1999 Constitution and having public hearing in that regard. And there is, I think, a deadline for sometime later this year for that review to be adopted and implemented. I am asking you, yes, we have a flawed system, but even more worrisome, would a committee, let me just land, would a committee that is reviewing the Constitution be willing and open to anybody coming up with a draft Constitution?
Okay, if I understand you very well, I am appreciative of the fact that the National Assembly is under their constitutional mandate trying to review sections of the 1999 Constitution based on the submissions of the Nigerian people through memos they have submitted. But I'm saying this is not the first time. And the National Assembly appears to be a little bit removed from the wishes of the Nigerian people, appears to be a little bit insensitive. That what they are debating, creation of states, is not a problem of Nigeria. The kind of things they want to see, they have legal authority, but they are losing the legitimate and moral power to actually suggest what should go in there. And that is what led to these people now saying we have to sit down and think of ways to make recommendations on amendment of the Constitution or to write a new Constitution. Ideally, these two groups of people should be working together to realize a new Constitution for Nigeria. But unfortunately, the way our politics is structured, the National Assembly, who should be the representatives of the people, in true fact, are not representing the people properly, so-called. And that is why I say that even...
Okay, unfortunately, the network has not been really kind to us for this conversation, but we thank Eze for the time and the explanation given.